Welcome back to the Chief's Garage. Well, guys, it's shaping up to be a pretty gloomy weekend here on the Virginia coast. So, no Mustang love today. We're going to be in the shop all day. So, I thought I'd put together my steals for you guys that is promised, showing you how I did body work. This car took me hours and hours, guys. It's going to be the same for you depending on the level of restoration you're doing. For me as a hobbyist, I've done body work before. I am by no means a professional body worker. I looked at films and took a lot of information, used a lot of products from the Eastwood Company. But I would advise anyone who's attempting to do their own body work, take your time, study your process, make sure that your substrates are all going to be compatible with each other, and ask questions. The forums like these, there's many of them out there. Guys will answer your questions. They're glad to talk about their Foxbody builds. I took some hints from a few of the guys who I've seen on, local shows, Discovery Channel. If you look at or have ever seen Bitchin' Rides and you hear what Dave Kindig says, he says that, he's a self-taught, designer and builder. And I would say that I kind of fashion the same way, where I don't have any, professional training doing body work, but I understand the principle. And once you get the theory down of how you get mechanical adhesion and what not to do that will, cause problems for you later in adhesion and things that'll peel and chalk, you're good to go. As I said before, this is a Mako body paint job that I have on my car. I did all the body work here in my own local, garage, but I had the car sprayed by a friend of mine, also a Mustang and Fox body enthusiast. And so Bruce and his guys painted this car for me, but I brought it to them in a condition that was ready to paint. No laborious hours or anything that they had to put into the body. It was straight when they got it. It had been blocked, sanded. I started through 320 DA the whole car. Went through countless, hours of just sanding. A lot of the original paint is still there. Spot coated some areas with, 2K primer where I needed to. They had a little bit of rust around the spoiler on the back of the hatch. I blasted that all with a small sandblaster, and of course prepped all the metal, fixed all of that, and put it back together. But generally, this is a pretty rust-free car. So hope you enjoy the video. Lots of steals in this one. If you have questions, please, guys, drop your questions. I thank you so much for subscribing and for hitting the notification bell. If you find this content is helpful, continue to watch, and I'll continue to post. And hope this is something that you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. I never set out to build, even thought of building a car that would be for show purposes. This is what I dragged home. It's just my 1990. I was looking for something that I could work on. Originally, the thoughts was I would buy something that my son and I could tinker on. But as time went on and as the repairs continued, I decided that I could make it look a little better. And so broke out the DA sander, and you can see here I didn't really know what was there. I kind of wanted to see what was under the paint. It looked like it had been resprayed. Found out that Ford had under warranty resprayed this in the past because of the failing paint job for those years. And so I set out and started to explore what was under that paint, and found that it was pretty solid other than just faded. The windows had taken a beating. The rubber around the outside, you guys know, if you've worked on these cars and you've seen what the sun does to these windows, this was not different. We had the same issues. I decided to use a 3M product, and basically it was bumper repair, two-part mixed, almost vulcanizing rubber. Found all the low spots, put that on, and then sprayed it all with trim black, and came out with a pretty good product. Same with the bumpers. The bumpers were pitted, and yeah, they were flaking and missing pieces, and mixed up some epoxy for that and basically filled in all of the holes, and just continued, day after day after work, a little by little, got the car all you block sanded with 400 grit after the DA, and then in areas continued to get in as much as I could, trying to get every little area of the car sanded, and basically until I had blocked it and all got it pretty much straight. You can see here it's pretty much naked sitting in the driveway. It was a quick wash after all of the sanding. Uh, got it back into the garage spot, painted some areas in 2K, and of course the products I used here were from the Eastwood company. So decided to seal up all of my body work. Had some hail damage on the roof, and we got that all cleared out. And you can see around the spoiler, it's just sitting on there for this photo, but there was a little bit of rust right under that, and I blasted that with a small handheld blaster and some glass bead, and treated the metal and put it all back together. And finally, the day arrived where the rollback came to get it. The car couldn't move under its own power. I had no issues with driving it, and I had driven it, in patina for a while. And so they showed up. I paid the tow truck driver about 50 bucks. My friend Bruce's shop is about 7 miles or so, maybe a little less than that from where I lived. And we put it on a rollback, and I was shooting shots of it as it went on the rollback, and we got it prepared to go over to paint and body. As I said before, a friend and a fellow Mustang enthusiast, Bruce, had Harper's Road Mako painted this. And that's what he sent me back. He had the car for about a week. It's the original Wild Strawberry Metallic EL, and the YJ, which is the silver gray metallic, some say titanium bottom. All back to Ford's original colors. I think it came out really good. There was some debate on whether or not we would paint and clear the titanium, but we did, and I'm glad we did. This is just an LMR insert. I decided to modify the front bumper to put in the 93 Cobra running horse emblem, and I like that. It came out really nice. It sets in there good. In retrospect, I went back and looked at it and said, yeah, that little holder in the back of the horse needed to be black. But as you can see, it's all glossy. The guys did an excellent job. They not only did they paint it, but went afterwards and they buffed it and really did a really good job. I sent it to them with all the with the removable windows, took all the trim off, took everything off of this car that could be taken off. I sent them a car that was basically ready to paint. We all laughed and joked at each other because after this was all done, they actually offered me a job, but of course I wasn't interested in doing this as a job. It's just a hobby, and that's Peekaboo sitting in the garage waiting for some parts from LMR. I bought the entire light kit from LMR, all of the lights on the front as one basic kit. Purchased it all, put them all in. Everything works. Fog lights, everything works as it should from Ford. Finally got all of the pieces back on except for the door trim. I was waiting for a nice warm day to lay it out in the sun before I put the door trim on, but couldn't resist to take it out. You can see it wearing its original turbines and fully assembled. Interior wasn't done in this photo yet. It was just me having to take it out for a drive. And so I took it near my house out and just wanted to shoot a few pictures of it. I was really feeling proud of myself and feeling like I'd really accomplished something. So took it down the street, pulled into a parking lot, and said, "Hey, let me snap some pictures of this because I'm starting to feel like I've really got to a place of accomplishment." And like I said, feeling really good about this car and from where it came. Guys, I tell you, if you put your head down and watch some YouTube videos and ask questions, there are people who will step in and give you answers to all your questions about things that you possibly have never attempted and may not have attempted had you not joined forums like these, where just regular guys who work 9 to 5 and are out there, bringing these cars back from the dead. Um, Believe it or not, it took me days to find out exactly where this 50 badge goes, and you'll find out that if you go look for that, it's Ford will say there are just
no way to know exactly how that was put there, but I did find a template, and as you say, I used the template to install it. Finally got the door trim on. Car is pretty much where I want it to be. Interior was still not in it yet. Um, but as you can see, I decided to get rid of the cheese graters. I was just never a fan of cheese graters, and so I used covers from late model restoration to remove the cheese graters. So basically, this is the team of guys who took care of my car. This is out in front of Bruce's shop. Bruce is the guy on the right with the sunglasses, wearing the white shirt, and he runs this Mako shop. He and these couple of guys here were my team. They were not actually the guy who actually painted this, I think, is in a photo coming up. But just goes to show you guys, there's enough enthusiasts out there that care about your project and theirs that they can step in. This gentleman leaning on the car, this is a guy who actually painted the car. And I have to say, he did an amazing job. I painted cars before. But these guys, this is what they do. Um, I found on Facebook Marketplace someone who had these ponies that were available. They were from a 91 LX and they needed to be refinished. So I brought them home and prepped them and shot them. And I drove it around for, I don't know, maybe 2 years or so with these ponies on it. And we talked about suspension before. You can see I've already installed the Steeder springs and got it down to the ride height I was looking for. But I drove it around looking basically stock, of course. This is a 1990 and ponies were not available for this. So you could only get turbines on the GT, but they are, error correct. So I don't think a lot of people knew the difference. Finally made up my mind after months and months of thinking about this that I would go ahead and jump on these 93 Cobra R's. And man, I tell you, I love those. They fit perfect. They're staggered, eights up front, nines in the back. They don't rub from lock to lock up front. And I only had to flip the quad shock in the back to get these 275 40s to work on the back. They fit like a glove. But it still was missing something. So I went to late model restoration, bought their stripe kit, and I put the stripe on around the car, down the door, and all the moldings. And after I got to that point, as you'll see in the next picture, I really liked it, but there was a point where I didn't really feel like I wanted to put the Mustang GT letters on, and as of today, they're still not on the car. I don't know. Tell me what you think about the Mustang GT lettering. I have it. I haven't installed it. It's not as if I couldn't put it on and then remove it. But give me your thoughts, guys. Tell me what do you think? Do I go with that or do I leave it as it is? Me personally, I like the understated Mustang script, and that with the black stripe, it just to me works with the Cobra R wheels. Um, and yeah, I'm always thinking that I'm almost there, but you guys know how cars are. Are you ever really, really done with them? And I would tell you, I don't know, maybe not. It still has a lot of things that we could do. Of course, I told you guys we're going to build the original engine and the original Borg Warner T5. I'm going to put all of that back and possibly go back to the ponies because I'm looking for another body right now to build. But this is how I've been driving it around. Like I said, it was never designed to be a show car, even though I have taken it to shows and won awards with it. And just what you can do in a little two-car garage with time. And I needed a place to expel some energy, and uh, I just took it out on this shell. And guys, I have to say I'm just really happy with how this all came out. I'm sure that there are areas that you guys could tell me where I could have done things a little bit different or what the trends are. But I kind of created a storyboard of where I wanted this car to go. And for paint and body, I think I got it there. I know that there are a lot of folks who like to see these lowered a little bit more. But for all practical driving, and this is a car I drive, it's not overly done, so I'm not afraid to take it to a parking lot and, run in the store. It's not a show queen. I drive it everywhere, and I'm just really happy of how it turned out. This is I was just messing around in the garage one day and needed to get it out of the way so I could clean the garage, and so I back it out in the driveway, and even people driving down the street will sometimes stop and blow the horn and say, "Oh man, it's a nice Fox body." We don't see them like that anymore. They're out there, and guys, we have to go find them, build them, and bring them back to life. There's just so many of them out there waiting for us to put our hands on them and to do something with them. And at the end of the day, you get to prop your feet up and take a look and enjoy all of your hard work. And yes, the cup on my little table is real. It says retired, and I like that word.
So as you can see, guys, it was a considerable amount of work to put this all together, but I appreciate you watching, and stand by our next video. We're going to talk about how I went through the mechanicals, the engine, the drivetrain, and how I put all of that together. And as always, thanks for watching.